everybody? Welcome back to Volks TV. Today's the day, gang. We get to finally work on this monster of a motor we got over here. I've been building this motor, collecting parts for this motor, dreaming about this motor for like 5 years. I've been having to stare at this stupid thing in the garage and push it all around everywhere, and this side and that side, and take it apart, put it together, order parts and sell parts. We're finally in the home stretch. This is about to go in this bus. But first we gotta take this pile of stuff that's on this table. I've showed you most of this already before. But all that's gotta go on here. Some of it's already on here. I kind of started playing with it, trying to hide things. The injectors and some of the sensors and things are on there. I've been playing around with it. One thing though that I really want to do, I think it looks super clean on these motors. You know, this is basically what the motor is going to look like in the bus, but with paint. You know, you obviously won't see that. But up here, I didn't want to have a lot of linkage and stuff going on, so we went with the sync link on the back side with the port shroud, nice and clean, no distributor. We've got the, what do you call that thing? The crank trigger. There it is. The hidden crank trigger from the dub shop. All my fuel injection stuff came from Mario over at the dub shop. Did an amazing job with the harnesses and with the plug and play, you know, getting everything ready to go. You'll see more of that as we get into this pile over here. But one thing I really wanted to do on this motor was keep it clean. Fuel lines to me are not clean. Rubber fuel lines that you're constantly having to worry about, especially with fuel injection, you're running higher pressure. I don't want to do it. So today we're going to show you how to take this or something like it. This is just a steel hardline that I picked up at the local auto parts store. You can get them in a roll. You can get stainless, you can get copper, you can get all kinds of crazy colors and finishes. I just went with regular old cold galvanized steel. It's got copper inside, and I'm going to paint it black to match certain parts of my motor. So I'm going to show you how to bend this up and what I did back here with the fuel rails and what I had to get for all that to make it right. I'm going to show you how to bend these up. You can actually do this super easy and super inexpensive, and it looks so badass, so clean, and you don't have to worry about your rubber lines going bad ever again. So I'm going to show you how to do it. Let's check it out. Alright, so what we got here, right here and right here, we've got the dub shop sort of in and out the back fuel rail. So the fuel actually will come in down here at the bottom, goes in the fuel rail, comes out the top here, whips around to the other side at the top, back down, and then out the bottom, and returns to the tank. It might come this way, I don't know. Either way, that's what it does. It goes in, it comes out, it goes back in, it goes out, and it goes back to the tank. So what I've done, our friends over here at Evil Energy, you can get their stuff on Amazon, you can get their stuff on eBay, but what they make, I hope this is the right package, I got a ton of these, you know, different fittings from them. These are AN fittings. AN stands for Army Navy, in case you didn't know, and this is just a really nice secure way to make fuel lines and attach oil lines and hoses and things like that. So we can do a mixture of things with these. We can actually adapt some of these fittings to work with a hard line. And I'll show you. I got it over here. Hang on. Got an adapter that lets you... So we've got an adapter that will let you slide this little guy over the fuel line, you know, and you slide this little cap on there, and then you have your AN fitting that normally, you know, it would be, they're slippery. Normally that piece would slide into a piece like this, and you'd have your rubber hose, you know, slide onto this little noodle piece, and then when you crimp this down, the hose is in there and it's all super nice and tight. But we make this piece, which is an adapter for that hard line, to let you do the same thing, except now the hard line comes out. That's excellent, because now we've got those here and here. This is that fitting. This is your hardline fitting. That's going to let us have our hardline wrap around as the you know, sort of go between the two fuel rails, and it's excellent. It's going to look so good. You know, black. These come in black. They come in blue. They come in red, gold, stainless, green. Pretty much any color you could think of, they got it. So what we're going to do is bend us up a piece of that steel and set it up. I'll show you how to, you know, get those around there. These barely fit with my sync link. It's almost like they were made for it. They're kind of notched out for that fuel rail, but I know they're not, because Mario's the only one that makes these, to my knowledge, and he doesn't make this part of the linkage. So I'm gonna have to do a little milling, I think, a little spacing and a little machining. Just, you know, that's hot rodding though. You got to make the parts fit. Just to clear my hard line here, we'll just clearance it just a little bit. It'll be okay, because all of the force on these is this way. There's nothing down about it, so we'll make it work. Yeah, so get these fittings, get your fuel line from the auto parts store, and then you're gonna need a cutter to cut the line. You're gonna need a flare tool, and for A-end fittings you want to use a 137 degree flare, which you can get from Amazon and pretty much anywhere. I can shoot you links for all this stuff down at the bottom there if you're interested in making hard lines. I've run them on my Webers, I've run them on my Cadrones, I've run them on my baby Webers, I've run them on the Ordos. Pretty much anything that you can put fuel into, we can adapt it and we can put a hard line in there. So let me reset this to a little table, and I'll show you actually how to bend it up and you know, make it do what we want. Just a little quickie today. So let's go get the table cleared up. All right, so what we got is our fuel line. We got a bender. We got our crimping, not our crimping, but our flaring set up, and we've got our little cutter here. These hard fuel lines always come with a pre-flared end on them. That's just the way that they do it. So we're gonna have to cut that off. So I'll show you how the little cutting tool here works. It's got like a little pizza wheel in there, and it's got a couple of rollers, and it's notched out to fit around various gauges of hard lines. And what you do is you get that nice and tight, see there, right up against your cutter, and you crank this little wheel down and it bites that, and then you just give it a twist here, and then you tighten that down a little bit more, and you see it's putting a groove in there. Tighten that down a little more. There we go. You get a nice clean cut, no sharp edges. You know, a nice edge on it there. It's perfect. And then I like to do the bend first before I do the flare, because I can actually cut off a little bit if I need to. So you slide that into your bender. Get your edge aligned with your edge so you can, you know, cut off as little as possible later. You get this into your 3/8 and you just give her a squeeze until you line up, you know, your 0 with your 90 there, and that gives you a good bend. You can always add a little more, but you can't take any out. I mean, you can, but it sucks. So do it. You know, break it loose, check it. You know, that looks like it could use a little bit more. So you just slide it back in there until it fits where it wants to. And then you give it a little bit more. Check it. That's pretty good, 90. It's gonna pinch it a little bit, but this is pretty big. This is 3/8 line. That's pretty big. So we take that. Take our Evil Energy hardline adapter kit, It's a sleeve and a nut here. The threaded part goes towards the work, you know, what you're going to screw it into there, and then the collar or the sleeve has this little step in it. The smaller side goes out because you want that to stick out of your, you know, that part there. Just like that. Now the little guy won't go past that curve. This guy will. So that's going to end up, you know, being right at the end of what you want there. Then we take our jaws here, find our 3/8, which is this size, which is right here. This 3/8 equates to -8 on the AN fitting scale. So if you're going to do it and you're going to use that size, this is a pretty good size for fuel line. Get the washer out of the way there. You want to get this tight, but not super tight. You don't want to crush it. You shouldn't crush it if you got it in the right one, but just to be on the safe side. And then this little guy keys into it and locks in like this, and then you tighten down the point into just like that. Tighten down the point right into the fuel line there, or the line. Make sure you're centered on there, and you just give it a little turn, turn slowly. If you go too fast, you could split the ends. I mean, if you go too far, you can split the ends. So you just want to, you know, just snug. That one could use a little more. Like I said, you can always add a little more. You can't take any out. There we go. Okay, that did it. So what you got when you get your flare, it sits right in the tip of that male portion of that AN fitting there. And when you get the sleeve down and you bolt this all together, that 137-degree flare bites right into that thing and makes a good seal. So you don't need an O-ring or any kind of gasket or anything. And it's a repeatable seal, so you can take this on and off as many times as you want. As long as you don't crack the end of that pipe there, you'll have no problems. So they say. So I'm going to get the other side bent up really quick and get it put together, and we'll show you what the final product looks like, and we'll test fit it on the motor and we'll see how we did. I guess to do that though, left out one important part. This little guy. Coat hanger. It's important. So you bend that coat hanger to match your, match your what you need. You can rebend it as many times as you want, but you want to make sure that you get that pretty much perfect, so that you can have a template of a place to where to bend that again, and then you mark it with a Sharpie. Put your bender on there and you bend, and you have exactly that. So through the magic of TV, got one right here. There it is. All bent, all flared, all ready to go. You can see it's nice and even. When these things are done, the ends end at an even point. So it should be good. So let's test it on the motor here. Alright, this is going to be a little tricky with the sync link in there. Pretty tight fit. Can make it work though. There we go. Well, wouldn't you know it, came up a little short. That's okay. I did it on purpose. You're not gonna believe me, but I did. I'm gonna show you why. Because I'm gonna show you a trick how to fix that. And that's with this little guy right here. This is a inline splicer. Lost the other, oh, it's down there. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna cut this in half. Not in half exactly, but I've got a little mark. And I'm gonna put this in line, and this is how you fix the problem when you mess up and you make it too short. Is I'm gonna put this in there and I'll show you. Got a neat little trick for it. Let me cut this real quick and I'll show you. There we go. Let me get this thing flipped around and I'll show you what we ended up with. Alright, there it is. Got a nice little fuel gauge back there. Fuel pressure gauge matches my oil pressure gauge right here. As you can see, super clean. You know, this fuel line is going to get painted black to match that throttle cable from the sync link. So that's going to be super sharp. You know, that'll all kind of blend together. I don't like the way that it looks back there like that, but I clean it up with some zip ties or something. So that'll come out really nice. So I'll show you what it looks like when it's all painted black. At the end of this, I'll just show you a picture of it because you've seen me paint stuff. But that's it, man. Fuel lines are super easy. Hard fuel lines. A little bit of trial and error, but you know, buy a $7 piece of 6-foot long fuel line. You know, get your $20 worth of tools and just practice. You know, practice. You can put them on pretty much any carbs. Just check the threads and get the right adapter that goes from, like, this is 3/8 NPT, which is National Pipe Thread, which is just a plumbing style. So 3/8 NPT to AN8 or -8 AN, whatever. You can find them any whichever way, but that's the size adapter I used. Put the sleeves on there, flare it, boom, bend it, hard lines. Fantastic. You can do it. I know you can do it. I'll put links to all the tools and everything down below. Your motor's gonna look so cool, and no more rotten lines to worry about. So super fun, super easy. Check us out on Teespring. I'll throw a link down below there. You can get some of our sweet threads if you want to get some cool shirts, sweatshirts. The winter time's coming. It's going to be pretty cold out here this year. Got some nice hoodies, old Volks TV hoodies. We really appreciate the support of everybody that's getting those from us, and everybody that's watching us and telling all your friends and everything. Subscribe, ring the bell, get your notifications on there. Check out all our friends. Thanks for watching.